All right, so I'm gonna teach Brandon, who's here with me right now. What's up, Brandon? I don't know if you get some on the screen. But basically it's like, people don't know how to use a fucking computer. It drives me crazy. I'm making the ultimate epic, whatever kind of buzzword video. But basically it'll just show you the exact things you do so you can use a computer and I can actually hang out with you. Otherwise it's just like, I'm like, get out of my face. Number one, I don't know if you know this, but like in Apple, they have QuickTime Player. Did you know that? You can hit File and New Screen Recording. So you can record stuff if you ever want to send things. So that's what I do. That's what I'm making this video. And the other thing you can do, which is cool, is called Jing. It's free. So Jing is basically an app that you can actually do quick recordings if you want to share something, and that's an easier way to send things to people if you ever want to send like a quick video. So I love Jing for that. It just lives up here, and you can make a recording if you want to send people. Let me just close this stuff out. All right, so keep going. If you notice, how did I open Jing? I opened Jing with Alfred. So Alfred app is right up here. So I love Alfred for a few different reasons. You got to use Alfred. So one, if you ever have math, so like you're paying me $100 times 3 hours, so $300, right? Or let's say I want to email Brandon, you can just type in Brandon, right? So number one, math. Number two, Brandon, hit enter, and it has your name and phone number that I can just easily grab and copy if I ever want to do it. Okay. Lastly, for applications, like let's say I want to open up my journal, so I'll just type in MAC, and it's just the fastest way. I found it faster than Spotlight to find people, names, or even files. So let's say I have a daily to-do list, so you can hit either find or you can do open, and then the file name, so it's today is like my to-do list, and it has my to-do list, bam. So I love using Alfred, so I'd highly recommend an Alfred app. Next one I use is called Better Snap Tool. I think it's like 99 cents. And it's so funny, like I'm so cheap, like, and I'm not cheap, but like I'll spend like, you know, whatever. I literally spent $3,000 on a meal, but when it's a 99-cent app that literally will make my life better forever, I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that. But the reason I love this one, Better Snap Tool, is that like, you know, screens and you want to like, let's say I want to have this screen here and then this screen here. It's always a pain in the ass, right? And there's a few that do this, but this is the one I use. Fine, there's a few other ones. But you can easily drag and drop it and you see how it like creates the window really nicely. So that's really helpful. Or on your screen, you can do hotkeys. So I think it's function up and it'll automatically maximize the window. I love that. So those are the two that I highly use there. Next I use Hazel. Hazel app is super cool. And then guys, we're gonna get into some of the Gmail tips. Maybe we'll do them separately. So let's just do some of the Mac tips. And then I'll do the Gmail ones afterwards. But Hazel, what's awesome about it is two things. It basically will auto sort things. So for example, if I download music, I put it on Dropbox. And then what I do is that if I ever have music, I'll put it in my downloads folder. Whenever I put something into my downloads folder, it'll automatically put it in iTunes and then delete the files. Okay. Or like photos, if I ever take a photo here, like so like I'll use Alfred photo booth, boom. So if we take a photo, this photo will automatically get moved to my Dropbox so I can have it saved in Dropbox. All right, so let's take a photo. Right? Oh wow, I look ugly with a beard. So what happens is like you create folders and rules. With pictures, save old photos. So this is the folder that it's in. And then what you can do is that if it's after a certain amount of date, move it to another folder. So it's really, really helpful. So it's like if it's moved to this folder, and sort into the date, if the date is before a certain week. So if date of the photo is before this week, move it. So that's one I use a lot. I also do one where I delete my downloads folder a lot. So delete one, so if any file is over a week old in downloads, it'll just delete it. Movies, so if I ever put something in the movies folder, it'll move it to the movies folder. Music, if I ever download anything and put it in the downloads folder, it'll automatically send it to iTunes. I never have to deal with it. So I love Hazel app for like automated rules. My friend Mitch in Australia, in New Zealand, told me about that one, mate. Yes, he did. I'm trying to think of other things that I highly recommend. Those are like the main ones I would say for apps that I would say like I use on a very regular basis that makes me very efficient with the computer. All right, the other thing I was gonna show you guys is like Gmail tips. And I use Gmail a lot. I feel like everyone should be using it. Everyone does use Gmail, what the fuck I'm talking about. Let me just show you ways that you should be using it a lot faster. So number one thing, speed up your mouse, right? Everyone doesn't do this. Go speed up your mouse right now, or trackpad on your laptop. So go to your trackpad and literally like put it to almost the fastest, right? So mine is almost at the let's just make it the fastest. Seriously, double your track speed, double your like output. Literally, it just makes everything so much faster. It takes a little bit. Next thing, and I don't know if you do this, dude, but like, do you improve your typing speed? Do you know what typing speed is?
Mine's terrible.
Yeah, so how much are you on a computer?
I have no idea, but it's just...
Like, but how much time are you spending on a computer? Like a day?
Typing?
No, just on a day on your computer.
A few hours, we'll say 4 to 5 hours a day.
So if you're spending 4 to 5 hours, imagine if you could double the amount of things you could get done in those 4 to 5 hours.
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice. All you have to do is improve your track speed and double your typing. So I use TyperShark. You can either do TyperShark or you can just message a lot of people, but you should literally, I would challenge yourself to commit 10 minutes a day. This is the challenge. Commit 10 minutes a day just to improve your typing. So use TyperShark and then literally just do this every day for 10 minutes. And if you can improve that, literally you'll double the amount of work you're doing. So anyways, this is awesome. Just use TyperShark. Basically it's a typing game. Anyways, use TyperShark. I highly recommend it. All right, coming back to Gmail. So here's a few things with Gmail. Number one with Gmail, turn on your keyboard shortcuts. So guys, the whole point of this is that you can have more free time to do other things and get your work done sooner. That's the whole point of all this. So go to your settings. There's basically, I think there's two things I want you to turn on here. Number one is send an archive. So show send an archive button in reply. The next one is keyboard shortcuts. So turn keyboard shortcuts on. Those are the two that you need to do. So what do those do? So now instead of me having to move my mouse, I could type things and it'll be a lot quicker. You see how I didn't even click anything and it's back in the inbox? Mm-hmm. So here's how you can find all the shortcuts if you ever get confused. It's Shift ? And you can get all the keyboard shortcuts, right? So Shift ? I'm gonna show you the main ones that you need to be thinking about, right? So number one, turn on your keyboard shortcuts. Number two, turn on send and reply, send in archive. You can hit Shift ? if you ever have questions about keyboard shortcuts. So number one, you can hit J and K to scroll through emails. So you don't have to go clicking, which takes fucking forever, right? You can do J and K to scroll through emails. Number two, you can hit X to mark emails, right? So if I want to take those 3 emails, so let me take a few right here, right? These 3 emails, and I want to archive them, I hit Y. Now they're archived, I never see them again.
Oh, wow.
Right? If you want to delete them, it's Shift#. So like this Coinbase one, Shift# is going to delete. And then Shift! Is going to be spam. Not too big of a deal. Next one is these tabs. You're going to do Shift#. So Shift and that little squiggly line at the top. Do you see how fast that goes, right? And I can get so much more shit done from this. So JK up and down, X to mark things, Y to archive, Shift# to go through your different groups. Let's go into one of the emails. So hit enter to go into the email. Now there's basically like 2 things that you need to know here. There's 2 major ones you need to know here. If you just hit R, it'll automatically create the reply, right? And if you hit F, what do you think it'll do?
Forward.
Yeah, so if you hit F, it'll forward. If you want to reply all, so it's like a thread, then you hit A, and it'll include everyone there. Next thing is that I use tabs a lot. So send an archive means that once it sends it, just archives it. It doesn't just leave it in that email, so it makes it faster. Because otherwise, you send it and then you have to go back to the inbox.
Right.
So this one, type your email, hit send. Now it sends it, closes it, archives it, and goes to the inbox. So if you want to just like send it and keep it in the inbox, hit reply R. Then you write your email. Tab it. So use tab. It goes here, and then it goes to just send. Hit enter, and you're done.
Wow.
Okay? If you want to delete it, remember Shift#. Now it's going to be deleted.
Okay.
The other thing that you need to know that I think is really helpful is that once you go into an email, if you want to go back to the inbox without having to move your mouse, it's GI, go inbox, right? There's another thing you could do where after you send it, it'll go to your next email, but I generally find that confusing because sometimes I don't want to see the next one. So I don't always have that.
Is like sent and outbox the same thing, like GOGS or?
Let's see, GS. Yeah, I think it is. Dude, look at you. Oh no, G***. Here's a few other things that you probably aren't, I don't know if you're doing a lot. You can search really advanced shit with this. What I like doing, I don't know, do you create a lot of filters at all?
What's filters?
Okay, good, you don't know. Good. No, that's a great question. No, that's great.
Okay.
So what you can do is, let's say your Amazon orders, right? So let's say what you can do is, in the search, you can put subject, your Amazon order, right? Now that will take the subject : your Amazon order. So any email that's the Amazon order will automatically get pulled. And now what I'm gonna do is create a filter that those just go to their Amazon label. So I never even see it. So for me, if there's any emails I just don't wanna keep seeing, I'll filter them.
Okay.
So what you do is you click the little down arrow, and then this creates the filter. So basically, if it has the, so I don't like has the words, I like the subject, your Amazon order. Click this little mark to test it. Let's just test it. Yep, there it is. All right, now what we're gonna do is create a filter with this search. Right, so what I wanna do is skip the inbox. I don't wanna mark it as red because I wanna see when they come in. I'm gonna apply it in a label, right, called Amazon. And the reason I do labels is that it makes it easier to find things, right? Now, apply the I'm going to also apply filter to matching conversation. So what this means that any future Amazon order will automatically now just go to there, and I never see it. And I can go and look at it right here. So let me create that filter. Right, so it's creating it right now and it's running through all these people. So what you can do is that if you ever want to find them, you can search label Amazon, or you can just go scroll down here and click on Amazon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it'll help you start organizing a lot of your things without you having to actually go do the work. So right now the filter is getting created, but you can see all these emails now are automatically in my Amazon. I actually don't know why I never did this before. Yeah, this is great. I mean, if you want to get more specific with it, you can do not just subject, you can do from, you can do to. Like if my buddy Adam, my buddy tier emails me, I automatically tag it health. Like I create, like I think this is kind of fun. I create a happy folder. So anything that's a happy email, I send it there. And basically it's like if I'm ever sad, I can go look at this folder.
Okay.
So I label them. So here's how you label something. If you go in one of your emails, let me just go in this email for my mom. So in this, to label it, you can do two things, and I'll tell you two different tips on here. You can either do it here or you can do it on that previous screen. You can hit L, and what that does is it'll create the label dropdown, and you could type it in. So, you know, let's just call this one like happy. So this is happy, and you could tag it happy. The other thing you can do is move to, so V, which is move to, and now you can move it to any of those labels, and it'll move it there, move it to that label. So let's say it's in the better example of that is like, let's say it's in an inbox. So like this Amazon, like Justin Brewley, one of the dudes I work with, I can hit X, V, and now I can move it to like GitHub, right? So now there's not a label for it yet. So now I'm gonna create a new label, GitHub, and he's gonna move there. So his commits are gonna be moved. So just moved it. Now I wanna move Collins there. I'll hit X, and I'm gonna hit, you can do two things. I can do move it with V, or I can label it. So let's just say I wanna label it and leave it in the inbox. So I just labeled it now GitHub, so now there's a GitHub tag. And if I archive it, Y, it's gonna out of the inbox and it still lives label-wise in that GitHub folder.
Wow.
So it's really helpful just for keeping things really clean and organized.
Yeah.
The only other thing I can recommend is I do use followup.cc. You don't have to install the extension, but I do find it helpful. So what that means, like my buddy William emailed me, so I use followup.cc all the time, literally a few times a day. But two things that you can do with it. Number one, and I'd probably install the Chrome extension, it's good. You can do tracking, which I don't really find that helpful, but you can do send later. So if you want it to send at like 6 a.m., you could send it later, or say you write something, but you don't want like sometimes at work, I don't want people to read my emails right then because I want to distract them. So I'll send it after work or in the morning or on weekends. Next thing you could do is follow up. I don't really do the auto follow up, which means it'll auto follow up with them. I don't really use that. But follow up means that you could say follow up with them at a later date. So what it does is that in 2 days, it'll just like, hey, this person, here's a follow up. And I'll show you, I have a bunch in my inbox. So you can do it in days, and you could cancel it when someone, you can even add a thing so it'll cancel. So if someone replies, and this is literally how I never forget anything. So for example, here, I'll be like, with William, and you can also type it in. So you can either use this or put like 1 week. I use like 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 1 hour, 10 days. So I'll be like, you know, let me check on them. Right? So and then in a week, I'll literally get an email, I put in the BCC, that's like, hey, you have a follow-up on this. So I'm gonna go to the inbox. How do I go to the inbox?
GI.
Yeah, buddy. If I wanted to mark it spam, and just to remind people, shift exclamation point, but let me go GI. Now I'm on the inbox. But you can see I have like a follow-up here for property tax. So basically, I wanted to remember this, that I need to confirm some property tax stuff. So I had a reminder, and you could snooze it, but it's a way that you literally will never forget anything. That's what I got. That's how to do your Gmail email. This literally, number 1, mouse speed. Number 2, improve your typing, just 10 minutes a day. And number 3, follow these shortcuts, and you'll literally get like, for you, you'll either, I promise you'll get at least 25% more stuff done, at least if you just follow this stuff. Number 1, your trackpad and your keyboard, there are huge improvements. Number 3, getting a better laptop. And then when you're getting in, no, seriously. Yeah. And then lastly, you know, you learn how to use the tool. Think about the things, I always think of it as a funnel. Like think about the things you're using all day long. And if you can improve those, everything else subsequently gets better. It increases your overall funnel, right? Because if you're basically, it's like only that much is gonna get through. Better be fucking good stuff you're doing. All right, and we're done.